So this is my first amplifier, Arcam Alpha 2. Still use it here in the workshop office shed with headphones and Kef Cantor speakers from 1975. I have repaired it in the past. I'm just going to do a quick contact cleaner on the tape button here, which is getting a little bit noisy, sometimes a bit of crackle, so I just need to clean that. But while I was doing that, I thought I'd just talk through some of the repairs and changes I'd made a couple of years ago. So this is what is inside. Nice clean layout, fairly standard construction and design. I got the service manual, and that was helpful. So it's just standard bipolar junction transistor output stage here, op amps for the preamp tone control, a phono stage here. So some of the things that I changed, replaced the original capacitors with some newer audio grade units here. The output inductors I changed to air core. I wound my own inductors to approximately the same inductance. Those just add stability on the output. Now, one interesting fault that did occur a few years back was that the amplifier was producing output, but at quite a low level, and that was a bit strange. I managed to put the scope on it and trace the signal back, and there seemed to be a high frequency oscillation, several, as I recall, several tens of kilohertz anyway, above audio range, supersonic, and traced it to one of the 7805s, no, not 05s, 7815s, on the power supply for the op amps. Strange failure mode. I mean, normally those are pretty robust anyway, and they've got overload protection, thermal and current and so on. And if you really abuse them, they would go short, I guess. But this was still producing 5-volt DC, but with just oscillating. So I'm assuming there was some internal frequency compensation that had just failed, and so it was self-oscillating and injecting high noise, I guess, or high signal, which the amplifier was, doing its best to amplify, and you couldn't hear it, but it was just sucking all the power away from your audio signal. So anyway, quick replacement cured that. Some of the other things that I've changed, this is similar to the Alpha 3. There was originally an attenuator on the CD input. I removed that, just took out the resistors, put wire links in. The electrolytic capacitors in the signal chain I changed to non-polarized capacitors, and the op amps here in the audio chain that were originally NE5532s, I changed to LM4562, a more modern, high quality op amp, and added a little bit of extra high frequency decoupling around the 7815s. So I don't know how much each of these changes helped, and of course I don't have an A/B comparison, but I like to think the sound is a little bit better for whatever reason. Maybe it's just psychology, who knows. But they were simple and cheap changes. So anyway, regardless, it's still quite a nice amplifier for a small room. So finally, I guess I'll just mention, certainly if you replace the output transistors or anything related around those, but just due to aging anyway, it's probably a good idea to check the quiescent current on the output stage, which is controlled by these variable resistors. So the service manual shows the current, or the voltage developed across these two resistors as being 7 millivolts. The text in the service manual actually says adjust for 8 millivolts. So take your pick, or the average, after warming up for half an hour, and then just adjusting those while checking the voltage across one of those resistors and the corresponding channel here. So I think that's all I've got to say about this, really. I'll just clean the switch here and put it back together again, and hopefully it'll give me many more years of service.